What's up, guys? Bloodburger here. So yeah, we're going to be looking at Path of Exile. It is a third-person overhead action RPG game being designed by Grinding Gear Games, I believe, out of New Zealand. I believe it's a really small team of developers, and I'm absolutely amazed at what they were able to do on such little resources. This is a free-to-play game. Right now we're looking at the different classes here. The Shadow is up right now. The Marauder, who is kind of like the melee / barbarian type class. So yeah, we're going to take a look at first of all these characters, but I'm going to be playing through as a witch today. About the first 15 minutes of gameplay or so. There you see the archer, or sorry, the ranger, who is obviously, you know, your ranged archer. I mean, I don't really know how else to describe it. I haven't really messed with all these classes yet, except for the witch. The duelist as a swordsman of some type. I haven't really played as him yet either, but I'll be able to, you know, go into a little bit more depth with the witch because I've actually played with her for a couple of hours now. But yeah, for this demo's purposes, we're going to be playing as her. Let's see, she has a funny little intro here, like she's like possessed, almost like a marionette or something like that. Pretty cool. So we're going to go with her. Go ahead, log in the game. First thing you're going to see is your character washed up on this beach here. Basically, the premise of the story is that you're in exile and you've landed on this, or crash landed rather, on this island, and you're pretty much trying to survive and I guess find your freedom. So yeah, this game kind of took me by surprise. I haven't really heard much about it or anything, with all of the you know, other game having so much of the hype. This game is, you know, kind of in the shadows, so to speak, but it really shouldn't be underestimated. It's an awesome game. I'm really impressed with it. Yeah, so here you see me just going at it with a couple of zombies here. Standard wand action, shooting. You do get tons of spells, and basically the way that it works is that you socket the spell gems into your items, or into your weapon rather, and you're able to use those abilities. So as we get a little bit further along, I'll explain that all to you. Got these interesting bug type crab looking creatures out there as well. Thought they were kind of cool. It looks like there's a lot of different creature models too, and they're not really reusing them, so that's always a plus, to actually see like different enemy and boss textures, or not so much textures but models. Is pretty cool. So now I'm taking off this shield that I found and I'm switching to a dual wand setup. There's the fireball gem that I had earlier, or that I received earlier. I'm not going to be using it though because I want to use something else. But basically you would be sticking that gem into the blue socket of the wand there, and then you'd be able to use that skill on your right mouse button. You can actually move them around on the bar as well, and put them, you know, wherever is most comfortable for you. So here we have more killing. Pretty straightforward. Pretty soon here we're going to be fighting a little mini boss, so sit tight for that. You notice my health is low. Interesting mechanic in this game is they have the potions, and basically when you use these potions they empty, and as you kill monsters the potion will actually refill. So you see it actually moved up a little bit after I drank it. So that's kind of cool. You're not always, like, you know, buying potions or picking up a lot of potions that you find on the ground, which I thought was a pretty cool mechanic. Same thing works for mana, and these flasks will actually have properties on them sometimes that'll actually give you enhanced resistances, give you faster cast rate, and things of that nature when you're trying to, or when you're using them rather. I've gained my first level here, and I'm going to show you what I actually thought was the coolest part of this game. The skill tree. It's really unlike anything I've ever seen before. I'm just clearing out these zombies so that I can be uninterrupted when I show it to you. So yeah. Bring up this window here. And this is the skill tree. So what you're looking at in the middle of the screen is my icon there. That's my witch starting point, but if you scroll out, you can see how many different attributes there are and how they branch out all over on top of one another and give you different abilities and attributes. I thought this was mind-blowing, a little overwhelming, but if you sit down and look at it, it's really not that complicated at all. These are the portraits for the other classes and their starting points. I'm not sure exactly who is where because I'm not familiar with the faces just yet, but anyway, basically you'll see that you can go up this side to get increased spell damage, intelligence, spell damage, cast speed, crit chance, spell damage, and if you move up here, you'll see that later on she actually gets minions, and this will increase the minion statistics. It'll increase her AoE radius, so she can branch out any way she wants to, which I thought was really, really cool. It's a unique take on the skill tree. Up this side you can go for mana regen, maximum mana, more intelligence, crit strike multiplier. It just goes on and on. Like, realistically, you can spread out all over the place and just create, whatever you decide, fits your playstyle the best. So yeah, increased life, arcane focus, all kinds of stuff. So for now, I just go with mana regen because that's always important for a caster, especially the build that I am tinkering with right now. I always enjoyed, what was it called? What was it called in Diablo? The Charge Bolt Sorceress. That was always really fun for me. So we have a skill called Spark in this game for Witch, and it resembles that quite a bit. And for that kind of spell, you need a huge mana pool so that you can keep spamming it over and over again. So here's Hillock. He's the first little mini boss here. Not too intense. I don't think his AI is tuned fully. Again, this is a beta, so I'm able to just kite him fairly easily without him doing much at all. So yeah, this process just goes on for another minute or so. Come on, Hillock, do something, man. He's just kind of, oh, now I'm gonna pull out my sword. Okay, there we go. So now he's like interested in fighting. Before he wasn't really concerned with it. He was just ready to die. You see him walking back and forth. I'm sure they'll fix that. It's early. There he takes a swipe at me. I run away because he's easy to dodge. But yeah, simple stuff. And a couple little bugs join the fight. Take them out real quick. Knock Hillock down. Oh, he finally got me. There we go. So that was actually a quest. I wasn't reading my log, but it's the first quest that you take, I guess, is to kill this guy and make your way into the main village. Now, you'll see as indicated by the orange dot on the overhead map there, that's where you would transition into the next part of the map. So this is the main hub. Now you'll actually be able to interact with other players here. It's not like Diablo in the sense where you need to invite people into your game. Everybody's always there. It's just that everyone's playing in their own instance unless you're in a group. So when you come into neutral areas like this, you can actually interact with other players that are in the same area. This is Nessa. She is a quest giver here, obviously, as indicated by the exclamation point over her head. You can also buy and sell items to and from her, or from and to her. Yeah, so I guess I just sell all this stuff. Actually, I cancel out because one of the wands is better than the other. I actually cancel that trade, do the swap real quick in inventory, and then I go back into the sell interface. So yeah, the game's really fun. Again, it took me by surprise. I was really, I had no idea that this game was really out there. I heard people mention the game, but I whatever. Diablo's coming, I don't really care. But this is a good, solid game. If you're not interested in, you know, the big one, Diablo, then this is something that you might want to look into because it is very solid and it's free to play. So, interesting thing about the trade system is obviously they're all a bunch of vagabonds and exiles and whatnot. They don't have any money, so they barter. In trade for your items, they will give you things like teleport scrolls, identify scrolls, crafting materials, things that you can use to modify different things. Yeah, so I thought that was interesting also. You don't actually have a gold or money system in this game. It's more based on like a barter system. So here is Spark and Freezing Pulse. These are all spell gems that I received for killing Hillock. Or, well, I get to choose one of them, rather. I go with Spark. Drop it right there in the wand. I'll actually open up my inventory again so you can see that. See, now the gem is actually in the wand. The wand is able to, or gives me the ability to cast Spark. You'll notice also in the bottom right corner, on the left mouse button, you have your general, your regular attack, and then on your right mouse button you have your skill. You can move those and change them wherever you want them to go. Later on, as you get more skills, you can put them on Q, W, E, R, and T. Pretty sure that was obvious though. So just going to wander around on this map a little bit and check out another little mini boss. That mana regen is actually coming in handy. It's 40% faster, I believe, right now. So the more of these little balls I cast or sparks I cast, it really chews up mana, so that regen is important. Busting open some barrels. There's nothing in there though. They gypped me. This ability is actually working out much better than I thought it would. I didn't think it'd be very good because typically for something like this, it's kind of gear dependent. But it's a new game. It's a different game, so you can't really expect for old stuff to work the same way that it did, or that it used to in a brand new game. Now this here is interesting. You'll see that little bar there. It's almost like an XP bar leading up to my gem. It is basically representing the gem getting ready to level up. So when you get close to the end of the bar, the gems have XP too, and that's how you will actually level up your skills and abilities. The more you use the skill, the more mobs you kill with it, the more XP the skill gets. And eventually, once you've maxed that out, you'll ding, and you'll be able to level it up for more damage. Bam. Skills leveled up now. It's 3 balls instead of just 2. So again, very cool. You get credit for using the skills that you have equipped, which I think is pretty cool. More killing, more sparks. Level up again. And this time I go with maximum mana. Keep that mana pool on point. Keep it big. Keep it regenning. And now it's time to go find that mini boss. Graphically, the game is beautiful. I think it looks really, really good, especially if you have a machine that's good enough to crank everything all the way up. anti-aliasing, anisotropic filtering. Crank those all the way up and you get a really nice looking game. Looks good. Game's gritty too, lots of blood. Now what I'm highlighting here is her energy shield. You'll see that little blue bar that's layered over the health globe. Now in this game, classes have, or armor has 3 different types of damage reduction. So basically for casters, you're going to want an energy shield. That's basically that little blue thing there. Evasion is more for your leather types, maybe your archer, your shadow, and then you have armor for heavier types like the Templar and the God, I forget his name. Oh man, I forget the barbarian class's name, but yeah, 3 types of armor, 3 different types of damage reduction. It's not just your typical cloth leather plate. I enjoy their sense of creativity and, you know, trying to change the standard way of presenting an RPG to us. I think it's pretty intuitive, makes a lot of sense, and keeps things fresh. Alright, so we're coming up on our little mini boss here. This guy is actually a pain. He has this completely spammable rain of fire type spell that hurts really bad if you stand in it. As you see there, I'm pretty much just staying on top of my heal potions, and he doesn't have a mana bar, so he can just do that indefinitely. It's kind of annoying. So I kind of just have to like cast 1 or 2 spells and then run. One thing I have noticed while playing this game is that the bosses are not, you know, simple. They actually have a lot of life and take a little bit more than just minimal effort to kill, which is cool too. Drop wasn't that good. No rares or anything like that. Just like 1 magic item in a ring. So yeah, that's pretty much the first 15 minutes or so of Path of Exile. Really solid game. A lot of fun. Polished already. I love to see games that are in good shape in beta. That always makes me really happy because you know at release you're going to be in good shape. So yeah, thanks for watching, and check out Path of Exile. The open beta is going on all this weekend, and you can actually buy into the closed beta for, I believe, $5.